Hari-hari bangun takdir, babe. Susah lah macam ni katakan. Then why would God give you conscience? Kenapa Allah nak bagi kita pilihan, and right and wrong and heaven and hell kalau semua takdir?
Assalamualaikum. Welcome to Tenang is Good podcast, di mana kita akan borak pasal mental health issues. Kita akan share tools to navigate unique life experiences with my friends. Okay, this time dia ada seorang je today, okay? She is my Sagittarius gang. She is philosophical, singer, actor,
Entrepreneur.
Yeah, she's my friend, Danielle. We are here to talk about fate because kita selalu dengar orang cakap macam terimalah takdir. Terima ketentuan. Kita boleh share lah story today.
Untuk I am the type yang kalaupun topik tu berat, I am not a serious person. I cannot do this kind of low energy discussion sebab dirasa, I think that's like a self-defense mechanism. Dia tak suka terlalu macam what do you call that, like merentan, or like macam nak mendayu-dayu dengan satu benda tu. I find that
you like to keep it here.
Technically, I feel like life is supposed to be like a joyride. So nak sedih-sedih sekejap, nak happy pun berpada-pada. So you're always kind of like on the thrill, but at the same time you have to look out for yourself, kind of thing. So sorry if the topic berat, tapi dia punya cara dibagi tu it's more kind of dark humor, maybe a bit of like light and stuff. So,
I like this. No need to be sorry for being who
and
you
suddenly
are.
it's
This
like I'm
is
crying
why.
and you don't know what the hell happened, right? So
Kan dia macam just datang je and then we just move on.
yeah.
Okay, let's start with, what does it mean to you bila orang cakap terima takdir?
I think yang paling penting, apa takdir tu, apa maksud takdir tu untuk diri kita sendiri. Regardless of how people punya definition of takdir, because it's very subjective towards the individual person, kan. Jadi bagi dia, apakah takdir, definition takdir untuk diri kita. So for myself, takdir is ketentuan Allah, and sebagai orang Islam, dia memang kena berserah pada ketentuan dan takdir. Tapi takdir tu pun ada beberapa benda, which is kita punya jodoh, kita punya ajal, kita punya rezeki, and there's already like a template of takdir, and between that are choices. The choices we make. Tapi dia macam, for me it's like how the universe is built. Philosophy. Gitu. Ding. So kita ada planets. We have planets, okay? Macam kita ada planets, dan there are certain things yang fundamentals yang kita tak boleh langgar. So every planet akan berputar dekat orbit dia sendiri. Dia tak boleh masuk orbit orang lain. Dia ada certain calculations to things. Ada certain things yang you tak boleh nak ubah. Kalau tak, the universe will collapse. So sama macam takdir kita as human beings, kita ada orbit kita sendiri and things kita tak boleh langgar, sebab that is the structure of the human life. And selebihnya, we can play around with all these different choices that kita boleh pilih for ourselves. So that is how I look at it. It's like a building with foundations, and if you don't have the foundations, there's no building.
I like that you keep it simple like that for you to live your life.
Yeah. So, so macam things like birth, death, jodoh, rezeki. If you are able to, children, kalau you, which falls also under rezeki, kan? Kalau kita dapat menerima apa saja berkenaan empat ni, the rest of it will be easy for you. Meaning there are certain, of course, maksudnya dia akan bekerja keras when I have the choices. When I know, okay, ini part untuk dia bekerja keras, and then I leave it to God. I work on it and I leave it to God. But things like jodoh, macam as much as you try to push or pull, in the end, God is going to meet you up with the jodoh of your life. No matter how much you push or pull, by the time you die, nothing can actually get in the way of your death. So when people pass away ataupun orang meninggal, kan, I love how, if we look at the Palestinians and stuff, the way that they accept death, is so something we can learn from, because they know itulah masanya, and in between life and death, the choices that we make every day is what makes us. Some other we will have a happy death or something that is very sorrowful. So that is my definition of takdir.
Right. Have you ever been in a situation where it actually trapped you to feel sorrow? And how does menerima takdir to bring significant change in your life?
Now I understand why you say the topics are berat, yeah? I didn't expect Mimi Fly to do this kind of topics. Girl, who are you? Yeah. Okay. I think the recipe of life memang ada pain. If you look at memasak, filosofi lagi. Kalau kita memasak tu, kita akan ada beberapa benda yang kita kena ada dekat dalam kita punya resipi tu kan. Pain is part of life. And if you look at the Quran, it says that we are made to struggle. Kita memang dibuat untuk struggle. Dan manusia ni tergesa-gesa. Dan manusia ni juga lemah. So Allah dah sebut kita punya recipe as human beings. If we accept that we are weak, that kita ni memang jenis yang rush, tergesa-gesa dan akan buat kesilapan because of tergesa-gesa tu, and juga kita ni jenis yang we will always be ungrateful. We accept the recipes that life is also penuh dengan dugaan, then it's not going to be surprising. Kita takkan macam, kenapa The question of why does not enter. It's how. How do you manage these rintangan? Because God has already promised this to you. Do you not believe what God has promised? You know, in the end, I will ask myself, if I betul-betul tanya, if I question, then I will ask myself again, do I not believe in God's promise of who He made me? Which is to struggle, to feel pain, to feel loss, to feel this is all the recipes of me as a human being. So if I understand why God made me and how God made me and why am I here on earth, there's so many banyak persoalan-persoalan yang I tak perlu tanya dah. Soalan-soalan life. Because it's like, babe, it's a given. You know, and life is full of tests. Sometimes we wonder macam kenapa Allah tak bagi jawapan kepada test ni. I mean, if you go to school, if your teachers give you the answers, then it's cheating. So I just try to look at it as macam, okay, this is funny, but kalau contohnya pada awal tahun dia macam peperiksaan awal tahun. And then dia ada pertengahan tahun, dia ada peperiksaan pertengahan tahun, and then dia ada SPM pula. So I will always look at it as, okay, I will have certain exams in certain parts of my life every year. And if you look at, I think Surah At-Taubah kot, if I'm not mistaken, we will be tested once or twice a year. Big tests. So how do you then gradually overcome? Because if you don't overcome, the test will come back to you on maybe next year or it will come back.
It's just going to keep coming back until you learn something.
Correct. Because if you look at the simple things in life, if we keep making the same mistakes financially, we will still go broke. If we make the same mistakes in our relationship, we will still go into bad relationships. So if you don't look at the red flags and you don't make it green, then how are the red flags going to disappear?
It's interesting because I seem like when I listen to you, it seems like you have a lot of time spent to self-reflect and ask yourself these questions before you move to make decision. This is the thing that I feel like because you know some people or certain when you know going through life, I feel like we learn how to keep it simple, and throughout challenges, I feel like this is how we try to simplify more. And some of us feel like life should be like so hard and so complicated. When you are not trying to simplify it, it would just be like that. But for as long as I feel like when you tell me these stories, it seems like to me you have this, you look at it like you do a lot of self-reflect here.
I try to understand the laws that God has is applying to us. For me to understand, untuk difaham, why am I here? So the fundamental question yang ditanya adalah, why am I here? And apakah ciri-ciri yang Allah dah bagi dekat dia. I'm very spiritual as a person daripada kecil lagi. I think because being an only child, anak tunggal, kita dapat duduk dengan diri kita sendiri, and I was always an observant person. Doesn't look like it, but being an only child, dia dapat nampak mistakes orang lain. Dia dapat tengok mistakes orang-orang tua di masa di kecil, dan dia dapat analyse outcome. So I could see the cause and effect daripada kecil. So dia dapat macam takeaways on like, okay, macam dia baru masuk in my 30s kan. I remember banyak benda-benda yang prop up in my mom's life and in maybe my friends who were in their 30s. I can remember masalah-masalah yang diorang hadapi in their 30s, and I reflect balik, I sekarang tengah ada dalam fasa masalah in my 30s yang sama macam diorang. But apa tindakan yang diorang buat tu, and apa yang I can do better.
You're like you're a student in life.
You have to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Life is not just macam, I ada dekat sini because my parents decided to get married and have me. I mean, that's just the what do you call that? Macam the consequence of, the marital thing. But nyawa tu, ataupun kita punya nyawa tu adalah sebahagian daripada, Allah lah. Allah pinjamkan nyawa, which comes with tanggungjawab dengan amanah. So I always believe we always have to put tanggungjawab and amanah tu first. And then everything in life akan fall into place. I'm not the best person lah to say macam, I'm the most responsible, paling amanah, tak. Tapi maksudnya in terms of how I look at life, it's how do I jalankan amanah, how do I jalankan tanggungjawab, because then the happiness tu akan datang sendiri.
Right, because you never shy away from learning.
Yeah. I think because, I go back to the scripture because, God said kalau kita cari ilmu, kita akan ditinggikan darjat. So it's not wrong if you continuously look for ilmu, because with the ilmu, you will understand so many different things that God and life try to teach you.
Life is like that. Macam kita dah habis sekolah, kita dah habis mesti, kita belajar, kita dapat exam, and then kita belajar. Cuma when we finish all that in life, kita dapat dulu challenges tu, and then macam baru kita belajar. Like macam kita kena dapat dulu this task. This task ni memang is the one yang macam kita kat sekolah. And the thing is, different people, different courses. Do you know some misconception? Ada tak macam you rasa when it comes to takdir ni, yang orang salah erti pasal takdir ni?
Dia tak suka bila orang suka gunakan the word takdir tu untuk malas buat kerja. Untuk malas berusaha, dan untuk dia dah macam sebenarnya dia dah complacent ataupun dia dah give up. Benda yang bukan takdir pun dia kata tu takdir. Padahal itu sebenarnya consequence yang you salah pilih benda tu. You salah buat benda tu. Ini adalah sebab kesilapan kita melangkah, ataupun kesilapan kita dalam kita nak manage sesuatu benda ataupun lesson tu, outcome dia teruk, lepas tu dia panggil tu takdir. It's not takdir.
It's not takdir.
Itu adalah you lah ni tak buat benda betul-betul.
Right. Instead of self-reflect and tengok apa lagi jalan kita boleh buat, kena pasti yang kita ada kuasa untuk membetulkan sesuatu. Maksudnya kita belajar kesilapan and then kita buat something to betulkan. Instead of buat tu, kita cakap it's takdir. Tak boleh macam tu pula kan. Tak boleh macam tu juga.
Hari-hari bangun takdir, babe. Susah lah macam ni katakan. Then why would God give you conscience? Kenapa Allah nak bagi kita pilihan, and right and wrong and heaven and hell kalau semua takdir? Then might as well kita tak boleh takkan ada pengimbang tu kalau kita ada takdir memainkan peranan yang lebih banyak daripada kita punya choices. Because I think takdir is maybe 20-30%. And kita punya choices is the 70%.
Ni side ni adalah side kita terima takdir. And side ni is side yang kita buat everything in our power to take control of our destiny. where is the line you rasa macam, okay, ni kita terima takdir?
What I know adalah there are certain times of the year dalam kalender Islam kita yang kita boleh doa untuk ubah takdir. Ubah kita punya hayat. Yeah, I think is it Lailatul Qadar? We can ask untuk, okay, Lailatul Qadar tu is a buku yang mana kita buku takdir. Yang kita boleh ubah takdir kita time that period lah of that 10 days where you pray to God, ya Allah, ubah my rezeki, ubah I punya umur, macam what do you call that, hayat I, and ask for things that normally the pegs are normally impossible. Itulah masa-masa that you can ask for changes. And if you are sincere and you are, that relationship that is between you and God, but if God says, okay, sure, then your whole the whole life's paradigm will change for you, I suppose. And then there are just every day yang you bangun pukul berapa, you makan apa, you merokok ke tidak, kawan-kawan you, hubungan you dengan manusia, hubungan you dengan diri you solat ke tak, benda tu semua choices. So if you understand the what takdir really means and you try to understand and study what is takdir and what are choices, it's not dia bukan grey area. It's very clear.
It's there. You can feel it too.
You can feel it too.
When it's out of your control or when it's in your control.
Yes. Even kalau kita dapat penyakit, tak semua penyakit tu membawa kepada kematian. Penyakit tu kadang-kadang kita yang buat. Tapi bila kita bukan masanya untuk kita meninggal ke, then kita akan sembuh. Ataupun kita akan sembuh mungkin tak sepenuhnya. Yes. Tapi akan ada cara lah untuk kita sembuh, sebab tak semestinya kita ada penyakit tu, that's the end of our life. It could be just because of our bad choices and God is trying to make us realize, hey, you need to change.
According to macam science kan, they said people yang memang ada a lot of resentment, dia ada bitter dalam diri dia akan long term wise akan buat dia sakit.
Yeah.
And it affect the gut, it affect the intestine, it affect macam, because as much as kita punya heart kat sini, but kita also ada heart kat kita punya perut ni.
Yeah.
It also because of the things that you eat sometimes make you feel different. Macam kadang-kadang bila kita makan certain benda, terlampau lama makan benda sama yang actually tak apa sihat untuk kita. And long term tu dia akan buat emotion kita pun tak betul. Dia buat kita and sebab tu orang kata macam bila kita kata kita nak take charge in our life tu, kita kena end up decide our diet macam mana, kita nak tukar tak cara kita makan, or in a way macam trying to take control and try to change little things that we do on our daily things.
Yeah.
Like, do you believe in that when you want to do something that you want to change in your life? Yeah.
I think it goes back to kita punya nyawa, which is pinjaman from God, and amanah untuk kita jaga kita punya badan elok-elok, because God gave us a perfect set of our body, our internal organs, which works perfectly. Kalau you look at it scientifically, how kita punya badan works, it is it's not a mistake. Everything is well calculated, everything is designed perfectly. So it's dishonorable untuk kita ataupun the word kurang ajar untuk kita merosakkan organ-organ kita dengan badan kita dengan benda-benda merepek. But again, it goes down to choice. So I mean, do I have to elaborate? It's amanah, it's tanggungjawab untuk kita makan, jangan makan. And again, like everything is already set in the scripture. Kalau kita makan, jangan terlalu kenyang. Kalau kita berbual, jangan terlalu banyak. Kalau kita tidur, jangan terlalu tidur. Everything has its balance. It's just sama ada kita nak kita nak adhere to all these rules, because it seems a bit overwhelming. But I think kalau kita langgar these rules pun, it can be overwhelming as well. So what kind of overwhelming do you want? Ultimately.
So it reminds me of my mom. So mama I ni, dia memang tak boleh berjalan daripada lahir kan. There's this one time when masa dia baru habis study and dia masa tu nak ke university, mama I ni, dia tak dapat masa tu untuk dapat pergi ke universiti. Sebab dekat universiti tu dia tak ada accessibility untuk orang kurang upaya macam Mama. She called every day Kementerian Pembelajaran masa tu to let them know that, hey, my result is better than my friend. And why won't you let me in? And they would tell her a lot of excuses kenapa dia tak boleh masuk universiti just because dia kurang upaya. So every time macam bila I borak dengan Mama I pasal macam life I, or macam come here. So she'll come to me, look at me. If I can do it, you can do it 100 times more. Because you're able. If you can't do it yourself, kan, I think it's really important to have people on your side that can give you some guidance, like macam your parents, in my case.
Push you back into reality and stop macam jangan hidup dekat dalam kepala sangat. Yeah.
Because this is the thing that happen when you have mental health issues. When it seems like everything is just so dark, sangat-sangat gelap, kita tak rasa macam kita ada choice.
Of course, mesti akan ada bisikan-bisikan dalam I don't want to be too macam spiritual about it lah kan, tapi macam akan ada the yin and yang of kita punya dialogues. And kalau kita selalu menangkan the dark side, kita akan, itulah kebiasaan kita.
That's where you'll be. Surrounding by dark side.
Correct. So again, it's back to kita punya active choice to see the bigger picture yang kita ada choices tu. We have the black and white. And sometimes you don't have a black or white, you have a grey. Dia ada campuran antara dua tu. Dia macam, aku pergi tengah-tengah pun boleh juga kan.
You berada di situasi di mana it's grey. How do you overcome that? How do you get there?
When there is a choice between this or that and middle, always go for I would say, kalau I lah, I would go for the one that I would be proud most. What would I say 10 years down the line? I would be proud if I were to do what? So then I know that is the best choice that I can do, or closest to what I can do. I will not try to self-sabotage myself with like, but, sometimes we want to play around. I think it's fine. But you have to know macam when is the exit, like, bila aku nak kena, okay, cukup. Yeah. Because experimenting is also part of life. Kalau terlalu macam ikut buku sangat, kadang-kadang pun nanti we feel like we don't experience life, kan.
Kalau semuanya rasa macam dark and it's been going on maybe for a year or 2 years, kan. Lepas tu kita mesti macam bila I nak move forward tu, I don't want to be the same spot, kan. Like macam, so I would do something, and I feel like the one that I carry tu, there's a drive. Drive tu adalah tu lah. I want to be somebody that I'm proud of.
Yep.
Not how people see me, but it's just me looking at me, and I'm like proud of me. Macam tu kan.
Yeah. Because say like 50 years down the road, when I'm an old cranky old lady, with 90 cats.
Okay, dengan 90 cats.
90 cats. Okay. But not all mine.
We'll keep you busy though.
I want to be able to say, okay, I did some mistakes. They were fun, You
lived.
I lived. Tapi at the same time, I didn't self-sabotage. I didn't sabotage my life. I didn't give it away and stuff. So I remember when I was going through my divorce, masa di melalui penceraian my doa was always, Ya Allah, if he is really my jodoh, make us better together. But if he's not, then may he find who is best for him, and may I lead my life in a way that I'm supposed to lead my life. There is no, Ya Allah, I want to divorce because I know in the end I don't have the answers. But please push me towards the best, the best outcome. If it's with or without him, I just want the best outcome for everybody.
For my highest good and others.
Yes, right. Because I want to come out of it light. I don't want to come out of it macam cakap kan with the pressure cooker and all that stuff, and then kita rebel and kita marah
suppress.
Yes,
and then you react easily offended, easily triggered.
Yeah. But of course, from time to time, you will always question, betul ke? We'll always,
Right, so okay, we come to this question. How does embracing fate, terima takdir ni influence your approach to making decision?
Jodoh is my takdir. I don't know. I don't have an answer to it. When am I going to be able to? This is just talking about jodoh lah kan. Am I going to be with him forever or until a certain time? But I know in between that, if I feel macam, but my marriage is not working. But I feel like, Ya Allah, what is going on with us? Kenapa kita macam ni? Kenapa rasa macam tak ada berkat? Kenapa rasa macam tak ada rahmat? Tak ada rasa happy? Tak rasa suffocated apa? So, of course, we tried to fix. Tak boleh. Mungkin kena berpisah. Mungkin. So, I ambil the initiative to, okay, I have to move away. And then I filed. But at the same time, sambil I filed pun, in my heart, I masih tak pasti lagi. Adakah ini because I takdir kan? So I tak tahu. I'm just going to allow time to reveal to me. But in the meantime, I will do my best untuk hari-hari tu cuba fikir macam, what could I have done better? What can I do better now? Apa lagi yang I perlu buat? Okay, maybe bergantung sangat kepada Allah punya aliran. You know, if I feel like dia ibarat I'm floating by the river, you know, and I'm just waiting.
You're no longer swimming.
No, I'm just macam tak apalah,
you just
ikut
float.
Yes.
Right.
Sebab sebelum tu I macam, you know, you're like a salmon, you macam go against the tide. And in the end, yeah, you macam, I'm not a salmon.
So tired.
I know, I'm a canoe.
Canoe?
I'm a canoe.
Okay.
So I'm not a fish. I'm a little canoe.
Right.
So
What color is your canoe?
blue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Blue canoe.
Blue canoe. Yeah.
Just floating around.
Just floating and just tumbling around. And in the end, I reach a still water. I reached still water and I realized, jodoh I masih ada lagi lah. And it happened in a way where I pun tak tahu macam mana I boleh ada dalam situation tu. Macam, we're back together.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So from what I'm hearing now, is you filed for the divorce and then you give yourself some time, and you no longer fighting for a solution. You just let yourself like embrace fate.
To canoe it.
To canoe it.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, that thing's good. Have you tried it?
I mean, you didn't offer me.
Yo, it's on your table. One side here, one side here.
No, I was not offered. So
Okay,
how am I
fine.
supposed to know?
Hey, boo, try some.
Thank you so much.
Okay, if there's brownies stuck on your teeth, I'll let you know because I'm your friend.
That's for TV. That's entertainment. Mom, very moist. It's like a really moist brownie.
Do you know this is not just brownies? It's an
It's not space
ashwagandha
brownies.
It's not. I mean, they will cuff me if I'm selling space brownies.
Not in Thailand.
But it does quiet your mind in 5 minutes.
Oh yeah? Oh, that's not good. Kesenyap kami dah dalam masa 5
There's
minit.
nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with like being calm. It's fine.
Aku tak jawab. Aku tak jawab soalan.
Tiba-tiba macam blur. Tak. No, that's not. I don't think that's the effect. I mean,
Sedap, Alhamdulillah.
right. It's really like, it tastes like brownies and it's just 91 calories. So.
No, I'm taking it home.
Oh yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Both boxes.
Both boxes, you can have it.
Okay.
Do you think self-reflection play an important role?
Sangat. I think self-reflection tu, dia macam bila kita dah jawab soalan peperiksaan, lepas tu dah dapat markah, dah dapat balik paper tu. Takkan kita tak balik-balik? Tipu
Kan?
tak balik-balik
Takkan
kan?
tak nak tahu siapa yang mana yang salah.
Tak tahu apa yang kita buat yang, you know, untuk kita perbetulkan kesilapan. I think it is human nature untuk kita sendiri ada perasaan yang macam, apa yang aku boleh buat lagi untuk perbaiki? Mesti ada. It's natural, I think, kan. Semalam aku terjerit dekat orang tu lah. Kenapa aku macam tu? Mungkin aku datang bulan kot. You know, like, there's always that kind of self-reflection. But kalau kita, that is, I would say, macam that comes naturally. Tapi lebih baik kalau kita memang intentionally do it. then the outcome will be a lot more positive. Sebab the one that datang secara tiba-tiba tu adalah maybe coming from guilt, coming from ego ke apa kan. But you challenge that voice and you see, okay, you know.
But then in self-reflection ni juga, I belajar untuk know what is my ego and what is the true me. Right? Sometimes kan, if you don't do self-reflection, you're just out there acting around with your ego in front. Like there's a wall. Like macam there's a wall where people cannot talk to you because you put that ego wall so high.
I rasa macam takdir is something that walaupun kita cakap, benda tu nampak macam, oh senang takdir, you know, structure, ini apa, fundamental, but bila kita terkena, memang akan ada, oh there's an important thing, I think I just got it. Memang kita akan terkesan. Sangat berat. It's gonna be tough. Because kadang-kadang ni, the takdir tu memang akan bring the best out or the worst out in us. Tak semestinya orang yang terima takdir tu tak ada perasaan. I know for a fact that when takdir hits you, kadang-kadang dia akan even shake your iman. You know, you lose your loved ones, you lose your job, and then you tak tahu nak berpegang pada mana, you dah tak ada sumber rezeki, and then you are hit with, you know, stage 4 cancer or brain tumor. I always see people struggle with when they go through grief and disappointment and sadness. It's almost as if diorang rasa diorang tak patut rasa macam tu. Macam, kenapa aku rasa macam tu? Aku patut terima takdir. Kenapa aku menangis? Aku patutnya kuat terima takdir. I just want to debunk. Satu lagi, I rasa...
can you debunk that?
Debunk.
Diana.
Yeah. I want to debunk because I always tell my friends or myself, kalau I rasa itu just me as a human being. I sebagai manusia, I memang akan rasa sedih, marah, kadang-kadang tak terima, kadang-kadang kita question kita punya reality, tapi tak bermaksud kita tak kuat and tak bermaksud kita tak menerima. But it's just a process of fasa untuk kita nak hadam benda tu. So sebab kadang-kadang I rasa macam, sebab dia rasa guilt. Dia rasa macam, aku tak patut rasa macam tu, jadi aku nak rasa macam mana? So they try to fake diorang punya emotions and buang emosi yang sebenar tu. And there's no self-reflection in that.
You were saying when we numb this negative emotion, we are also numbing the positive emotion that's gonna come out of it.
The lesson is not gonna, you know, prevail itself. It's not going to. Dia akan.
So you believe also in the process to get there.
Of
you
course.
have to go through this and not trying to trick your mind to be like, oh, aku tak boleh macam ni, aku kena terima takdir. But that's not the way it is to be. It's actually towards feeling every emotion as human being.
Yeah.
It's going to take you there to understanding and embracing takdir macam tu kan.
That's why when say my friends lose their loved ones and they start crying and all, I don't even try to say anything because I'm like, feel it. You patut rasa benda tu. Kalau you rindu, kalau you rasa you ada benda yang you tak sempat nak buat, you rasa terkilan, you rasa apa, rasalah benda tu. It's fine because the human heart, dia nak lepas, and then lama-lama kita akan rasa relief. Dan dia pun rasa sebaiknya kita jangan terlalu bercakap dengan orang lain tentang masalah-masalah kita sangat. You know, you talk to the right people. Kalau you nak manage your emotions and all the grief and all that sadness that you go through, I still believe, you know.
Why do you think that?
Because I believe that they don't have the answers, and
also
they will disappoint you.
When there also mesti macam ada sense of trust when you want to share something really personal about your life. You kena cari cerita dengan orang yang you trust, dia boleh hold space for you.
Sometimes you feel like these people ada jawapan untuk you. That they can take the sadness away, that they can, but in the end akan datang balik, and then you will talk about it again and again and again and again, and you akan rasa burned out.
burn out.
You akan rasa burnt out.
That's what's going to happen. It's going to feel burnt out.
Because you're not talking to the creator that gave you the issue, that gave you the problem. So I'm not trying to be, again, too spiritual about it. But I feel that for me, what really relieved myself from a lot of burden in my heart is talking to my creator. That during I bersujud, during when it's raining and you know, okay, this is the time God promised that raining ni Allah paling dengar kita berdoa. Masa macam tahajud, Allah is there so near to me, and masa kita bersujud, sujud tu pun very near to me. So all these things is the time when I'm going to talk to my best friend. I'm going to talk to my best friend. So that's what I feel lah. I try to macam mana kalau I ada best friend macam mana pun dia tak macam my relationship with God, because He knows me and is closer to me than my veins, kan? So and there are certain things yang you cuba explain dekat orang, you nak feedback dari orang.
You just want to feel validated sebenarnya.
Yes, you need this feedback, because if your friend just looks at you like, okay, then you will feel disappointed. Macam kau tak faham benda ni. But if you talk to almost yourself and the creator, there's no real feedback, but you feel macam there's an offload, release of something, and you realize you sebenarnya tengah hantar doa ni somewhere, and this will be solved. However way it will be solved, I don't know. But I trust that it will be solved, that it will dissipate as how it was created, it will dissipate. So I feel, because ramai orang bagi tahu benda ni, I tak dengar dulu. I did not listen. I akan pergi kat best friends, I akan pergi dekat family, I akan cerita kat semua orang.
So you used to be the one who like to rant about it,
rant.
to feel release.
But in the end
you didn't feel
kusut.
Lagi kusut.
Lagi kusut. But if you just take a moment, you know, if you're not so religious, it's not about the level of your religious, you know, macam level religious you macam ni, dia bukan macam taekwondo belt, you know. So kalau you black belt, then you are super religious and only you can talk to God. I really feel like at any point in time, you can just have a conversation with your creator. Even if you do not believe in a creator, you must also believe in the power of someone or something that created everything. So talk to it, the source of everything. Yeah, because when you talk about religion, it becomes a bit sketchy for certain people. So I just want to make it universal.
Yeah, I faham. When it comes to being universal, it seems like I feel like God is within us because it's inside.
Yeah,
it's
God
not
is
really
us.
External.
We
yes,
are
God
made,
is us. Yeah, because so sometimes just talking to yourself is. It's not like trying to say that you can be crazy, like talking to yourself, but really like spend some time alone to just really like ask yourself question, talk to yourself and reveal your desire, or like macam really like speak what you want in life.
Yeah,
I feel like there is some form of prayer.
There's an energy
there.
So I mean, bila kita cakap pasal takdir, I just wanted people to also understand. Because we're like, oh, takdir is this, takdir is that. But what happens when takdir hits you? That's why I just want to give a bit of like a conclusion to the whole conversation, is when it hits you, there are outlets, that you can go to, which is of course the right people, the people whom are berilmu untuk bagi you the right comfort. Because all they can give you is comfort, not solution. And even if they give you a solution or the solution, you have to bertindak atas solution too, so it's still up to you, But ultimately, when you take some time to get back and connect yourself with the source of God or whatever source that you believe in, then you also realize that life is meant, you akan ingat balik, oh sebenarnya memang takdir lah. Jadi there will be a sense of acceptance slowly, macam accept, and then lama-lama you akan have that full acceptance, because I feel acceptance pun dia macam, that sand that drops, what's that, the timer sand clock, dia macam sand clock tu. Acceptance to me feels like that sometimes, and for you to get that acceptance fully in your heart is that conversation with you have dengan diri you sendiri, dengan memahami kenapa kejadian kita macam ni and all that. I think it's quite an intellectual concept takdir and how you also try to accept it.
Dan fikir kalau kita tengok balik kita punya life, kalau kita tengok balik kita macam flashback, certain things yang kita ingatkan kita nak tapi kita tak dapat, kita akan percaya macam nasib baik aku tak dapat benda-benda ni. Sebab kalau aku dapat benda-benda ni, aku tak dapat benda-benda yang sekarang ni. Semacam in a way, memang betul lah you cakap, it needs time to unfold itself to really see. So when you say about jangan rushing sangat when it comes to what you want to feel satisfied or to feel fulfilled tu, jangan rushing. I think
Jangan rush untuk the outcome, because you cannot rush the outcome, but you can slowly tell yourself that you will get there. Macam tu lah. Yeah. Itu je lah, babe.
this is amazing.
Ya ke?
Iya, sangat-sangat. Thank you, Diana, for coming to Tenang is Good podcast. We really appreciate your presence, your insight. We appreciate the way you think. I love the way you think, girl. And I love you, Senang.
I love you too, Mimi.
Thank you to Alila Bangsa KL for providing us this space to just share our energy. I love this space, man.
Yeah.
I need you guys. Yeah.
So professional. Oh my God.
Thank you to Bima Visuals Lab, our production team. So
Thank
behind these
you.
cameras, there are people, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you to Becom. So just so you know, this really calms you down. And if you need it, you can find it on my Instagram and my TikTok account.
Kalau korang perasan tadi dia macam conversation macam ni, lepas tu dia terus zoop. Because I had one. So
you had to.
I had one because
Okay.
I can't F it up.
And to those yang belum subscribe lagi to our YouTube channel, please do so. Before we leave, I would like to drop some quotes.
Oh.
Yeah. It says like it sounds like this: accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together. But do so with all your heart. Take care, be calm. Tenang is good. Assalamualaikum. Bye-bye.
Bye.
That's your second one.
Yeah. Okay. So good.